It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Hello, model citizens. Welcome to Humanity Junction. My name is Heath. Tonight is Modeling Monday. Welcome. Today, we're going to keep going on the module. I don't know if people saw, I did a little 10-minute edit that kind of takes us up to what's going to happen today. I put that out this morning. If you want to go watch that, there's probably not a lot that's going to happen for the next 10 minutes. You can kind of see how I got to where I got to. But Dave BNSF N Scale asked, why the safety getup working by yourself in a small room? So that picture was taken right before I started doing some concert work. There were some concerts out in Central Park, and I needed some gear for those concerts, and I had just gotten it, so I put them on kind of as a joke. So, it wasn't really I guess a real thing. It was more just something for fun. So we do have a poll going on tonight. The poll is, should I stick with using ballast, or should I try out using grout? So feel free to throw your votes in, and we'll talk a little bit more about ballast versus grout in a little bit. But let's say hello. See who's here tonight. Looks like we got a short list, although it says there's 35 people, but I only have about 10 people on the list for some reason. But we've got Cameron from Caboose 121. We've got either Mike or Dominic from Cascade Southern Model Trains. We've got Tim from CP368 Productions, Dave from BNSF N Scale. Dwight Curley's in the house. Frank Steelerfan 820 is here. John Train BFGR. Lauren Hurwitz is in the house. Andrew Mr. Victovid is here. Ray Ron VR. Steve 87th PSAP. We've got Mike the Rail Artist. We've got Steven from Wigwag Workshop. And we got Mike from Wicked Insanity. If I didn't catch you, I do want to thank everyone for being here. This is going to be another adventure tonight. Part of what I ask, hey, Missile Hunter and Creepy013 also just coming in. Dwight Curley, I see here as well. Adam Cruz as well. David Atkins is around but doing dishes. Here's what I ask. So for the people that are here now, if you see me going too far, stop me. But I'll try and stop myself. I think last time I just went a little bit too far, and I feel like if I would have stopped just a little bit sooner, that that would have been a good thing. So. Ron Moen, thank you so much. Looks like you just joined the Blaine Heath Amateur level. I do have memberships on YouTube. You can do a membership on Patreon. All that goes to supporting me being able to do these videos. I do also have some sponsors, so I'm just going to take 45 seconds and just thank everyone that are both the members and the supporters of the channel. So, thank you. So I made this comment I responded to a comment that I think we're in pretty good place, right? I mean, it's looking pretty good here on the desk. So I think we're doing okay. I just think I went a little bit too far, and of course it's not focusing. There we go. I think that's focused, maybe. But yeah, so I think we're in a good place. I think I'm gonna try adding some linen grout tonight. I was watching Kathy Millett has a video, and her video was what is the most important modeling thing that she uses, and she said that it was grout. I've never used grout. She gave a bunch of tips on how to use it. My thought is, so you can, let's see. You can kind of see the difference in the size of the material, right? The grout is almost like a complete powder, whereas the ballast is definitely a little bit more, rocky. But, so I think the grout's going to help fill in some of this stuff a little better. But Steven, you can definitely paint them. They're just wood. So, sure. Apparently, Nearly Historical also uses grout. So what I'm going to try and do today is... N scale's too small for grout. So what should I use for... what can I use that's smaller than grout? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of the ballast to fill in some of the bigger holes. And I've got a little funnel today. So I'm going to try and like get into some of these bigger holes and fill them up with ballast first. Which, you know, a couple holes. And then we're going to use it's linen grout. And we're going to use the linen grout to kind of fill in some of this. Let's see if I can actually get this to focus up close. You can kind of see, you see how it's kind of like a porous sort of surface almost. And I want to fill in some of that porousness because I feel like for N scale, it's just a little bit too rough for what it is. One of the suggestions, actually, people are mentioning using sand. Kathy actually suggests mixing the grout with the sand because the grout basically absorbs the water, and you need some of the sand to help get it like through and wet it a little bit. So yeah, like Adam's saying, mix the ballast and the grout. Mike's saying I'd mix them as well. I'm not gonna mix. I'm gonna use both of them, but I'm not gonna mix them for this application because my goal is to put the grout on thin enough that I won't have a problem. And I do have wet water, so we'll be using, this is 50/50 IPA and water with a drop of soap in it. So we'll be using wet water, so it should get through. Container Man, thank you for upgrading your membership to Blame Heath Professional. I think he's lurking in the background, but he may have outed himself with that. Steve87 says, expert, you need to go to mentor level, which is probably true. Once you get the water on the ballast, it'll look just fine. Yeah, so, I mean, this ballast is all down pretty heavy, but, yeah, we'll just do a light dusting. I got this to help get things into places. I've got a, whatever you call this little thing to hopefully help slow things down. The Woodland Scenics fine gray ballast, it's in a you know, a little spice jar thing. So I'm hoping that it'll be easier to use than just pouring it right out of the bag, which is what I did last time. But yeah, you know, I got some stuff going on, but I do also, just to show you guys real quick, I do have the usual trains, and I say usual because they've been running the last 2 weeks or so. Got Z scale, N scale, and HO scale in the back. But I do have up top, I do have the LGB, or the G scale, running. It happens to, most of it be LGB, but hopefully, I can hear it. It's making its way around. It's just being slow about it. But NEC Jersey Rail fans asking if anyone's going to the train show in Edison on November 27th and 28th, so right after Thanksgiving. I think I'm going, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think I'm going. The diorama is light. It's still very, very light. It's a Woodland Scenic t-trak module, and it's basically made out of foam, so it really barely weighs anything. I'm not, you know, it's just kind of a pretty light setup overall. It definitely got heavier, but yeah, and you know, where are the pink containers? There are pink containers up. Oh, those pink containers. Here are some of them. Here are some of the pink containers. And the other one is up there, and I can't reach it right now. But these I keep right here. so they're easy to get to. Those came from Container Man. So, yep, those are them. Cascades has got a new train this weekend. A Kato PQ DEH A800 series. Is that one of the Japanese trains? I'm not familiar with that one. But yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Bictovid, towards whatever you need. I am still trying to upgrade the computer. The goal is once I get it updated, I'm gonna do some fun stuff. So hopefully it'll be fun stuff. But yeah. So I guess we just have to start, right? I'm kind of nervous about this, but the idea is put down the ballast, put down the grout, then wet it. What I did last time that I think was kind of a mistake is I was putting stuff down and wetting it as I go, but then that meant if I put too much in any area, it was already wet. So let's try using this funnel. I don't know if it's going to work, to kind of get into some of these little areas with some of the grout. And hopefully this will work. Now, I've never seen anybody do this. I'm completely just making this up with my own insanity. And I think it's kind of working. It's a little bit exactly where I wanted it. I got some chip brushes here, so I can just sort of adjust some of it as I please. And I think I like what that did. It kind of filled in that area kind of nicely. It allowed me to kind of target the area that I wanted to target a little bit better than I was able to before. So yeah, I'm just trying there. Because of the way I built this, there's definitely some holes. So I'm just trying to get some ballast in where the holes are, and then we'll come back and get some other stuff in. Oh, geez. Come on now. Here we go. See, here's the problem, is if you're saying stop now, when I actually should be stopping, I'm not gonna stop because, you know, I'm gonna think you guys are just joking with me. So I feel like this is a little bit of a cry wolf situation here. I don't know how well you can see any of what I'm doing, but I'm hoping it's translating a little bit. I could try. I'm gonna try moving this jib a little bit and see if maybe this view here might be a little better to get us in. Rick from Fultz Bailey Railroad says, I'm lurking lackadaisically working on Woody's. If you don't know, Woody's is a build that he's been working on. It's actually a really pretty incredible build. Rick's, or I should say at least John is doing some really great things and Rick is taking credit for them. But what, you won't stop if we keep telling you? I think it's called Crying Wolf. It's called Crying Wolf. But what video did Roy do that I didn't see now? Yeah, I just used bare plywood and fill it with my imagination. I mean, this started out as nothing. And hopefully by the end of tonight, it'll maybe be something. I'm already really liking what's happening with the filling in of these areas with this. So let's see if I switch to the jib, let's see if, now of course I'm just going to be in the way of myself. But you can kind of see I'm just getting some ballast in this hole here now. just to build it up just a little bit. Using the brush. So yeah, so tonight's gonna be a little fiddly. I'll try and keep an eye on the chat, keep things engaging, but I'm gonna try and just take my time and kind of go through things. Hello, Brian Rock Rail fan, how you doing? So yeah, as long as I don't bump this really hard, I think this is working where, I'm getting the ballast where I need it. And yeah, I'm glad this view's kind of working out. Hopefully it'll stay in focus. And I'll be able to just keep kind of doing this. Hopefully it'll keep kind of working. So like an area like this, I may actually need to do a couple sort of fills to get it kind of in more, because right now it's just sort of like falling out, but that's okay. That's okay, we're getting there. There's a little hole right there that filled up nice. Little hole there, it filled up nice. I'm just trying to make the bumps look more end scale realistic. Like, some of them are just these big, deep craters. And, yep, I definitely need to add more around the wings here. I want to try and keep it, though, up against it. And if I put too much in there now, I think it's just going to fill it all in too much. So I'm, yes, I agree. I definitely agree. No time change here, but really throws me off. Yeah, it is 9:49 here, but it feels like it's 10:49. So, it's definitely interesting. Yeah, like here I'm putting it on this corner here, and it's just falling right out. I probably wonder if I put some tape there, maybe. Let's see if I make a little bit of a dam with tape, and then if I glue it, it should probably, it'll stick to the tape, but once it gets glued, hopefully it'll just stay. Although this tape isn't sticking very well. Cascade, you lost your glasses in the ocean? That's actually pretty funny. I lost a pair of sunglasses in a lake once, but I didn't lose glasses. That doesn't sound... Oh, there we go. So let's try. We want a little bit more here. You fill this up a little bit more. And then I'll try and brush it up into there. And we'll do the same thing on this side, just to give it a little more shape there. Hey, Grandpa Rails. Checking in, saying hello to people. All right, so let's keep going. I'm going to put a piece of tape along here, too, because I want to get a little bit more filled in here. Oh, I guess I could have used a much bigger piece of tape. Being chintzy with the tape right now. Let's use a little bit more than that to try and fill this in before it... This is working pretty well with this little funnel. I may use this to ballast the track just because of how well it's going. It really does kind of help get the get everything like exactly where you want it. Trying to move this without knocking it, because that would not be good. I've got too much stuff on the workbench to turn it right now. So Trying to move it a little bit so that people can see what's going on. Let's come around this way. This way. There we go. So now we'll try and... I don't know that I'm going to be able to get a lot in here, because I think it's going to be... I think this might be tough. I may have to put some in here and then sort of sweep it in with a brush. Hey, Stephanie Paul, Roy Eltham. So much detail in a tiny space. Yeah, I'm becoming a huge fan of N-scale modular railroading. I didn't think I'd like it at first, but it definitely opens you up to being able to kind of like do a lot of different things, which I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying the fun of it. I don't like what's going on back here, but I don't know what to do back there yet. I think when I get to either sculpt a mold or making a paste or something, I'll be able to fill that in a little better up there. But for now, let's go a little bit. I'm trying, again, I'm trying to do just enough, but not too much. Trying to look at it from different angles. See where I could fill some stuff in. There's a little hole right there. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm going to do up here. I feel like it's not... it's a little oddly shaped. Not really sure what the right plan of attack is. Oh, you're right, Thomas Splitrock. It is Ray Eltham. He has been renamed. That is very true. See if we can get that to focus a little better. So, I found another hole to fill in. I'm not trying to fill all the holes, but I am trying to get it to a certain level of filledness. Filledness? I don't know what I just said. And then we're definitely going to come back, though, and we're going to put some of the, we'll put a thin layer of the grout over everything. And it should help smooth everything out. So we'll see. Once you get the stuff you are now propped up against the... Oh, yeah. It is very likely I'm going to need to probably flip this at some point and do this same kind of thing in a different orientation. Or at least I think that's what Adam is saying. So let's... All right, so I have no idea what's going to happen next. And when I say next, we're talking about the grout. So I'm gonna start laying grout just sort of... Where is the grout? Here's the grout. We're gonna cover up the ballast. You hide your holes you had with bushes. That's a good way to do it. I'm already getting ballast and stuff everywhere, which I'm expecting things are gonna go completely off once I start using this. I'm trying to see if so I need to get the camera at the right distance and then zoom in to get it to stay in focus. So, okay. Yes, not gonna sneeze now. These are, I just got a whole bunch of these bottles on Amazon. Basically they're just, you know, they're spice bottles. They're glass spice bottles. And I put all of my different kinds of ballast and stuff. I got a bunch of ballast from Arizona Rock and whatever that's called. So I put it in these little jars. So all right, so this is where we're gonna try and go slow, and we're gonna see what happens. I'm sort of tapping this up. Let's zoom out. I'm holding this up higher to try and give it some, and of course nothing's coming out because I'm kind of nervous to do this. So the idea isn't to change the contour. The idea is just to fill in between some of the ballast to make it just seem just a little bit more smooth. So we're gonna do this slow. And we'll do a light covering. Nope. I'm starting to get a little aggressive. Mike says, and they call me Arizona Rock and Mineral. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, I bought a bunch of different colors from them a little while ago, and I really I like their offering, so we're sticking with it. But so what I'm hoping this is doing is you can kind of see how like porous some of this is. And what I'm hoping is that by adding some of this grout, it's going to kind of fill in a bit of those pores and make it look less like it was filled with ballast and more like it's sort of just more of a natural, thing. So yes, Stephanie, 100%. This is a project that is my practice project in a sense. I call these my chainsaw modules. They're t-trak modules, but as it hunts for focus, come on. But 100%. These are, I'm gonna scrap these at some point. David's asking how long would it take to do a 20-foot by 40-foot layout. If I was doing a 20-foot by 40-foot layout, I'd get a very fine mesh one like this, and I would use something this way around. So Wigwag, you could do it either way. Some people say to mix them together and do it. I'm doing it this way because I already had a lot of the ballast down, and I'm really just trying to use this to help, fill in some of the high spots on the ballast. And I'm not putting on a huge layer that I don't feel like the water is going to get through and and really kind of mash everything down. Yeah, Split Rock and a couple other people have been calling this the learning curve, which I think is a pretty good name for it. I'm thinking the grout will hopefully self-level a little bit. I don't need it to self-level a lot, but I am hoping that it's going to self-level a little bit, that it will, it'll sort of settle into some of the cracks and not just sit up top. But we'll see. Cascade owns a t-trak module scrapyard. Send them my way when you're finished. Yeah, I like the idea of having them though. Like, I think it's definitely fun to kind of have t-trak modules to you know, to share with people and to be able to take, I keep talking about this, but at some point the idea would be to, you know, take them to the park and, oh, I am going to, I don't want to concentrate it. I want to kind of break it up. I feel like I'm pouring it a little heavy in some spots. So this, hey, there we go. This is an interesting idea. This seems to be working. So just adding a little extra. So it's maintaining the, you know, this is all going to get painted, right? So this is just, it's maintaining the shape, but helping to kind of fill it in and make it not look like I dumped a bunch of ballast on it. So I think this is working pretty well. This shaking it into the whatever this thing's called. I am getting this all over the place though. I would not recommend doing this on your kitchen table. Just my 2 cents. Pokes you with a chopstick. Want drama. Diorama, but more pricey. Yes. I am loving watching people build dioramas on YouTube. I am just having a really great time with it. And I love kind of being a part of that by doing these modules. I feel like I'm, you know, a little bit in that world of the dioramas. So trying to fill in. I'm gonna go back to this ballast a little bit. I've got a little spot right here that I just noticed. Oh, you remember the Cascade Pacific T-trak club? Oh, that's really cool. Hello, James, and anyone else I may have missed along the way. We are going to take this bigger brush, and I'm just going to get as much of this off the tape as I can, because I don't necessarily want the tape to get really hard. So I'm getting very close. I think I'm getting very close to just spraying this down. I think it's filling in. I think it's filling in pretty nicely. You know, it's still. I think I might still need to do, you know, like a second layer on it. But it's oops. That was a little heavy. But I think it's going to do exactly what I want it to do. So yeah, I don't think I would be trying this if I didn't see, you know, Kathy Millett show this off on her channel. So I know a lot of people use grout. She's not the only one. But yeah, that's the idea, is that it's going to get very hard. So I'm hoping that it does. So Dave, I thought about getting darker grout, but I'm going to end up painting it at the end of the day anyway. So I kind of thought, you know, just to get something lighter. I figured the lighter might be easier to cover. That the darker might be a little harder to. I don't know if that's true or not. At this point, I'm wondering if the tape will come off, but it's painter's tape. Yeah, it's painter's tape, and I just put it on last week. I have a Dremel. if the tape doesn't come off, we'll get the Dremel out and we'll work on it like that. I'm thinking I'm gonna do this in stages. I'm thinking so. Oh, Rusty. Too funny. Yeah, Joey, Late Night Model Road. I use grout for asphalt now. It doesn't get so hard that you can't crack it, though. That was one of the things Kathy showed, was using I believe, grout and cracking it for the thing. Yeah, right now, Eddie, it does look snowish. I almost feel like it looks more like what do they call that? Corn. Corn, like a cornmeal type things. Oh, the contrast would be better for demonstration. Well, this is, I mean, I'm going from a darker surface to a lighter surface. So in essence, this is pretty good. So where's the rest of the layout? The rest of the modules are all sitting back here. Right now, you can see this was my first module that I built, is this guy here. And I don't have the table built yet. So one of the things coming is wood to build out the table so that I could run the stuff. Yeah, cornstarch or corn dust, that works as well too. Kathy knows what she is doing, which is very true, unlike me, who has absolutely no idea what I'm doing. But you know, if you want to see somebody kind of figuring it out, this is somebody figuring it out. All right, so let's close things up. I am now going to use, this is a solution of wet water. And yeah, it turned into a snow scene. So here's some wet water. Let's see if I can get it in focus. There we go. IPA, 91% IPA for whatever reason. Water and a drop of dish soap. I like this spray bottle so much better. This spray bottle gives like a real nice, just like this mist that this one doesn't have. I'm going to order another one of these to put wet water in instead of regular water. But for now, this is what I have. So I'm going to wet this down with the wet water. And then I'm going to switch to a little bit of a glue mixture just because I do have some ballast in there. Not Kathy Miller, it's Kathy Millet, Millat, I believe. If maybe Tom's Trains and Things or anybody, one of the moderators can drop Kathy's channel into the chat, that would be awesome. All right, so I'm a little nervous about this because I'm afraid I'm gonna spray it, and it's gonna like knock. I'm afraid it's gonna knock the. There we go. I'm afraid it's gonna kind of knock things out of place, but it is just alcohol and water, so you can't even see. I'm spraying it from. I'm like spraying it from so far away. I'm like out here just sort of missing it. It's not the glue, so I'm not too worried about it getting on everything, but I do want to make sure that it does get really wet before I get to the glue. You'll notice I do have brown paper on the desk. That is, I've got a roll of it, and I make sure that I always have paper down when I'm doing this kind of stuff. I'm looking around to see what else I'm spraying with it. What's interesting is the blue tape seems to really be getting saturated, but I don't see the grout getting as saturated as the blue tape because I think the grout is just like soaking it up. Yeah, so you can see, I'll just show you because now that it's sort of stuck down, but this guy is like this. I love this. This is like a real like it's like such a misty water. It's really pretty wild how misty watery it is. All right, so now it's definitely soaked. I'm starting to see it pool up in areas. Kind of make sure, just go to Home Depot and get a pint of the sandstone finish, paint the color you want, you'd be done by now. But I wouldn't have the contour. The point is to get the contour I want. So correct. I don't actually need glue, but the reason I'm going to put the glue on is because I do have, I did start with grout. There is grout underneath this, and I do want to make sure that the ballast also, of course there we go. I want to make sure that the ballast also gets glued down really good. Looks like this one dried out just from last week. But yeah, technically just the water should be enough for the grout. So the good thing is, after I get this all glued down, we could just sit here and watch the glue dry. So that's the next step. Grout will hold its own without glue if it's thick enough. Otherwise, it gets really crumbly. Yeah, and this is a very thin, very, very thin coat of grout. So, you know, I definitely think the addition of the glue is going to be really helpful to... Oh, I didn't have the camera in the right spot. Sorry. I really do think the addition of the glue is going to help it get that nice skin that, you know, that nice sort of skin that I really want on it to really help keep it in place. I am definitely going to take the tape off before I do any more, just so that it doesn't get... Oh, sorry, that was not pretty. So yeah, Joey's saying glue is recommended in this case, and that's definitely the route that I went, is using glue. Just getting up some of this glue on the tape. And we'll see when this dries. You know, I don't know if I'll need to come back and do another layer of grout, or if it'll be fine, you know, with just the one layer. But if anybody's curious, this is the grout I used, Polyblend sanded grout. I just got this $12 at my local, you know, neighborhood little home store around the corner. It wasn't even a Home Depot or anything, you know, it was just a little local hardware shop. I don't really, I feel like, need to be necessarily wiping off the tape, but I'm just doing it because. So the next thing, Lynn, are you too late? Yes, you're late. I use gypsolite for rock glue. Has some texture. I also use a lot of fine peat moss for ground cover before putting on the static foam or static grass. Oh, nice. Tom, how do you sift out the mosquitoes? Yeah, dihydrogen dioxide is actually pretty rough. It has carved canyons. That stuff is so abrasive. So, yeah. So the next thing that I do want to do, yeah, you're just in time for the glue to dry. I am going to do one more thing tonight. I know, I should just stop, right? One of the things that Kathy did was she'd made a paste with the grout and basically used the grout as a paste to kind of build it up instead of Sculptamold. And what she... I think I've made quite a bit of mess right here, but it's a mess where I intended to make a mess, so I think we're all good. But I'm going to make... it's not a sculptable mixture, but basically what it'll be is it'll be some of the grout It'll be some glue, and what else? I think some water. So it'll be grout, glue, and water. I'm just using some matte Mod Podge, and I'm gonna mix it up, and I'm gonna attempt to flatten this side out a little bit more. I've shown this before, but I've got these, you know, little scenery elements, and the ground is just way too wiggly wobbly. So let's see, Heath, what is the model of your camera that is attached to the tripod? This is a Canon, the Canon RP with a Canon 24-105 EF lens. So I've got an R to EF adapter to be able to put this lens on this camera. So it's basically a mirrorless camera. So making a mess and messing up are different things. Still wondering which Heath has done tonight. I don't know that we'll find out until later in the week, but Rusty Possum Bayou says it best. Kathy has enough sense not to do this live. I would say that is a very, very accurate statement. But let's, for fun, just because I've never ever done it, let's try and make some grout glue mixture stuff, and I don't know, we'll see what happens. I don't know, has anybody tried this? Yeah, Joey, it's L glass. I don't have, unfortunately, I bought a ton of L glass. It's all EF though, right? So none of it has the focus that I would like it to have for video, because it's all really made for, you know, still photos. So it's actually been working out much better to just manually focus it. And I've actually got a monitor right there that I can look at to focus it. So editing a video while watching, yeah. And that's, you know, the video to get to this point before tonight, I actually did it, I edited it down. That's a hard word to say. I edited it down to a 10-minute video so that you can kind of see how we got to this point. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm a little afraid to find out. I'm just gonna pour some. I realize nobody can see anything I'm doing right now. I'm just pouring some grout in here through the big hole in the jar, and now I'm gonna get just a little bit of just matte Mod Podge. I'm making a very, very, very small amount of it. Yes, very, very good for still photos. You know, another thing, it'd be great to upgrade the glass to more video specific glass, but I make it work. I think things are, you know, things are in pretty good focus. So supposedly we're adding the glue because at the thickness we're gonna make this, we're gonna need some of the glue to help really hold it together. So that's why the glue is added. Love the spell check on my cell phone. I for one, not I got one. I don't know what you're saying. Okay, so definitely way too much water in what I just mixed up. You can see it's just absolute water. So now I'm gonna make some more paste, and of course then I'm gonna have way too much paste, and I'm probably gonna go back and forth about 100 times putting in too much grout and then putting in too much water, and just back and forth and back and forth. I guess I could just keep stirring this until some of the water, I don't know what the recipe is. I don't know. James says, I have the Canon 5D Mark IV full frame. Yeah, so this is the RP, which is the low end of the full frame mirrorless cameras, is what this guy is. What kind of happened is I got an M50 Mark II as my face camera. So that camera there's an M50 Mark II. They were out of stock because so many people were buying them. And because I already had the glass, meaning the lenses, getting the full frame mirrorless camera worked okay for me. All right, so I am not liking what's happening here. I don't think, maybe I'll paint it on, but yeah, more grout, more glue, less water. I put way too much water in, is the problem. It's basically, it's a liquid. It is not going to do what I want it to do, so I'm not going to keep attempting, because knowing me, I'm just going to make a huge mess if I keep going. Lynn is looking forward to see how the grout works. He might try it on his module sometime next year. Would grout be heavier than just using? Well, I guess Sculptamold is really light, so you could use Sculptamold instead. So, yeah, Joe, I remember you saying that you're a Nikon guy. Stop and start a new mix, Heath. Yeah, I should probably do that. You know what I'm going to try, though? Kathy was saying that basically this grout mix is an alternative to Sculptamold. So to make this lighter, I'm just dumping a little Sculptamold in. I don't know. I mean, So now I've got grout, glue, Sculptamold, and water. Well, it's definitely becoming something. I don't know if it's becoming something usable. For leveling that area, I would use Gyprock filler. Is Gyprock filler, is that like plaster? I don't know what Gyprock is. We refer to it as drywall here. So yeah, I could definitely use that. That is for sure. That would probably be the more logical thing to do. But, you guys have been watching me long enough to know, to know. Yeah, Joey, I kind of just started with Canon and never made the switch, and then Canon got into video, and I had a 5D Mark II at the time, which, was the big deal, Canon video camera, or video DSLR. So yes, I'm not normal. Normal process is foam, plaster cloth, paint, then dirt. Grout will be for a desert road. Yeah, so essentially I've got a Sculptamold mix here right now. That's essentially what I've got, is a colored Sculptamold mix with a little bit of grout and stuff in it. It's that time. Stop. I don't disagree, but I've got my my handy dandy scraper here, so I'm gonna use this mixture that I've got going right here, and I'm going to see if I can get it to just level out this area right here, and then that's gonna be the stop of this for tonight, because I do actually think this part looks pretty good. I do think I probably need another layer of grout, maybe. But I am thinking that part looks pretty good. So let's get the big bag of Sculptamold out of the way, because knowing me, I'll knock it over, and that'll be the end of it. Norman's saying go for it. So I'm going to use a little bit of, yeah, we can use the wet water. And I'm just going to wet down this surface, and I'm wetting down the surface so that hopefully this mix will stay in place and not just run all over the place. So this is actually working. I can't believe I'm saying this, but yes, I think this is actually doing exactly what I wanted it to do. If you keep going, your model will have a kitchen sink. Too funny. So it does dip down over here on the side a little bit, but I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna fill that part in right now. I think I'm just gonna. I think we're just gonna let this go, just like this, just like that for now. I think that's the end. What I'm looking at with the goop now is, because this goop is actually working pretty well. David saying, so there, Kathy. So this goop's working pretty well, actually. So this was a good idea. I'm going to use it to fill in the back edge here a little bit, because I don't really have anything else to fill it in, and this seems like a good thing to fill it in with. Yeah, that kind of worked nicely, actually. Halt, stop, now stop. I'm just filling in some big holes that are on this outer edge. I'm not gonna touch any of this. We're just doing these couple holes on this outside edge right here. This should be it. We're getting closer to being done. There we go. We're just trying to get rid of some of the things that look weird. I don't really like this crack, but I also don't know if I should fill it in. Seems my kid's still up. Oh, Joey. Yeah, they'll do that. Doesn't your kid think it's like 11:30 though? Because it should be. Oh, you should still be on daylight savings time, no? All right, so I dumped a little on my my keyboard down there. So don't tell anybody. This stuff can supposedly be sanded pretty well too. The grout mix. But you know, this is This is coming together nicely, actually, filling in some of these little gaps. Now I'm getting, I thought for a second the STS crew was sending me messages on our message thing telling me to stop. But they weren't. Rick was just sending other emails. So I'm just, I've got a little bit extra, so I'm filling in some of these big holes along the side here. Just so, because I don't want them to be a nuisance. I don't want people to be kind of staring at the big holes. Modeling with popsicle sticks. Okay. Oh, hey, Jagogu Samurai, welcome. Yes, Norman, the Great British Bake Off. I've actually watched one of those. Sticks them in a rock mold. Norman, just for you. Interesting idea. I don't know how well it's going to work, but we'll see. Let's get out a little wet water. I don't have much left, so I don't know that I'll get many rocks out of it, but I'm a big fan of making rocks when I've got extra plaster, so I appreciate the reminder. Oh, looks like we'll have a couple good rocks. Some of the rocks didn't quite fill all the way up, but I don't know how much of this I'm getting on the floor, which I'm trying to avoid, but let's put that in there. Give this a couple nice taps. Norman, thank you for that suggestion. That was pretty good. Yeah, David Z2G, have you not heard of wet water? Wet water is basically it's water that breaks the viscous surface. So, like water in general will cool up because the viscosity of water keeps the water molecules together, and the wet water will break the surface tension. So that's why you use like the wet water when you're, spraying things down and stuff. But yeah, I use the wet water on the mold just because it has some dishwashing soap in it. So that kind of, helped things settle a little bit down there. Yeah, what I'm wondering a little bit with this side. Oh. I'm wondering if I should be trying to work this a little bit to help shape it, or if I should just leave it be and come back and sand it. See, it's not quite as smooth as I like, which is what I think the Sculptamold. Yeah, so there's a drop of dish soap in here. Funding this out without a release agent. I was told that water and soap works as a release agent, so that's what I tried. That's why I moistened it to help things settle. It's interesting because this grout mixture feels so sandy when I touched it. Should I take the tape off now, or should I wait till it dries and then take the tape off? This is, I don't know, this is like some cheap Amazon soap that I got. I I basically took it out of the big jug and just put it in this little jug. So it says soap on it. So when I need something to add soap, you know, to something, I just dump that in. So yeah, so tape on or off? Leave the tape overnight while it dries, or take the tape off now? Okay, people are saying wait. Mike from Wicked Insanity says wait. Lynn says wait. David says do it now. My only thought to do it now is that if the tape hardens, it might be harder to get off. But that's what I use, Pam, for your mold release. I actually have mold release. It's over there, but I haven't sprayed it in this room. And I wasn't... I want to try spraying it. I want to try spraying it first, not on live. Yeah, so I'm thinking I will definitely be painting, but what I'm kind of thinking though is that I should take the tape off and put it down new, some new soap, basically on top of it. So yeah. So yeah, tape off now, and then you can smooth it. Tape off now, and then you can smooth out any plaster ridges. Yeah, see, that's what I was kind of thinking as well, is if I do it now, because one of the gaps I filled over here was actually where tape was stuck in, and I had to like pull it out. So Pam is flammable. A lot of things are flammable. But yeah, I still got the train running around the top. still see the train coming. But yeah, okay, so everyone, if you take the tape off, it won't peel away any hardened grout. Yeah, so I think I'm, it's my show, do as I want. Leave it on. At some point, you'll need to sand the outside of the module paint anyway. Yeah, so I'm not taking off the tape to never put more tape on. I'm taking off the tape now just so that it doesn't create problems around the edges. So I'm going to take it off. That's it's my railroad. I'm going to do what I want. We'll take this tape off, and then we'll reapply the tape the next time I do it. But I'm just taking this off because I think it'll help with the edges a little bit. And actually, so here's interesting, right? I'm taking the tape off. The tape is actually wet on the bottom. So I'm actually really glad I'm taking this tape off right now, because it looks like I wet this so much that there's actually can't touch the camera. Nope, that's the wrong one. You can actually see it's actually wet up here. It's actually wet. So I'm actually really glad I took the tape off, because wow, you can see a lot of wetness right there. So yeah. Good move on the tape removal, Heath. The mold release that I have is called APEL or something. It's something I got on Amazon. I don't know if it's any good or not any good. It's sort of what they had that didn't seem too expensive. So that's kind of what I went with. Let's get another one. Don't have it here. Oh, here it is. I got some isopropyl alcohol, and I'm just gonna wet this to wipe off the track. Yeah, Joey, these are they're the super elevated tracks. So yes, 130% they are the super elevated. So the good news is there's not much nastiness coming off, so that's good. But there was definitely some stuff settled into this that I am glad I got in here to get off of here. There we go. So now hopefully tomorrow, this thing's going to be dry. Hopefully it's going to be hard as a rock. And yeah, if it's hard as a rock, that means I think I did something right. I did. Totally messed up the paper on the desk. You can kind of see it's all ripped up. I'm moving it back there so I stop touching it. Here's the rest of the big bag of grout. But yeah, I messed up my paper a little bit here, but look underneath the module to wipe up. Yeah, you can see there's nothing underneath it. There's nothing, yeah, nothing at all came through. It's the shaper sheets. The Woodland Scenic shaper sheets have a, Woodland Scenic shaper sheets have like a aluminum foil on the bottom of them, and it works really well. Nothing went through, but I am going to say goodnight because even though it's only 10:45, it feels like 11:45, and I've got a bunch of stuff to clean up before tomorrow, but I hope you've enjoyed tonight. I feel very good about the results so far tonight, and I know I've got some more to do. I might have another layer of grout to do. I might just leave it as it is. I need to see where we're at tomorrow, but I definitely think we made it somewhere, and I really want to thank everyone for being here tonight and joining me on the journey. And if you're in the health contest, send me your final weight, because I'm hosting Sidetrack Sunday on this Sunday, and we're going to do the results of the health challenge. So I hope to see everybody there, and just, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you again next time.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all